Hey guys, it's Richard and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm gonna walk you guys through how I prepared for my audition, which is actually coming up this Saturday, and I just thought it would be really cool to share with you guys kind of the process of how I got ready, and also it gives me a chance to offer you some tips so that you can be successful at your audition. Okay, so with that being said, I'm just gonna jump right into the first tip, which is the most important, and it is to manage your time. This is the number one thing you have to do to ensure that you have a successful audition. I mean, managing your time is one of the most important life skills because you have to apply it in every aspect of your life. School, work, auditions, I guess. So yeah, it's really important to organize like your practice times and know exactly when you have to be prepared, and as soon as you get information about the audition, immediately go to your calendar, mark that date for the day of the audition, and then properly manage your practice routine so that you will consistently work towards the audition. Okay, the second tip is to establish a proper practice routine based on the requirements of your audition. So let's say that for my audition that I'm doing right now, the requirements of it is that I have to do one major scale, one minor scale. So that's one requirement, scales. The second requirement is a solo, so that's another one. And last is the excerpts. So I have these three requirements that are all part of my audition. So what you should do when you're practicing is divide it into three different practice sessions. So let's say in the morning, I work on scales. Afternoon, I do the solo. And then evening, I do the excerpts. By kind of dividing your practice times based on the requirements of the audition, you can kind of work more on the individual goals in those sections, and that will help you get better overall for the whole thing, rather than just practicing everything all at once. The third tip is to focus on hard sections. I feel like sometimes there's this tendency to play the stuff that you're good at over and over again, which basically means you're neglecting the spots that are not quite up to par or are tricky for you or just overall really difficult. So what I really recommend is that you hone in on those tricky sections and work really, really hard to get those up to par, rather than just running through everything or repeatedly playing the sections that you're doing good at. So you need to prioritize the spots in the music that are harder. The fourth tip is to not compare yourself to anyone. This applies more when you're at the audition because there's going to be a lot of different people who are practicing and getting warmed up, and that can make you kind of listen in on what they're doing and can make you have thoughts such as like, oh my god, this person's so much better than me, and if you do that, then you're gonna come in with this really negative mindset and it's just gonna screw your whole audition. So you need to just focus on yourself and focus on getting prepared, like just pretend no one's there, because this is your time to get ready and you should not spend it trying to scope out your competition. And my last tip is to have all your essentials prepared. This includes rosin, rock stop, tuner, water, phone, anything you need or require for the audition or to play your instrument, or just whatever you need. It's really important that you have everything ready beforehand, and always double check, because if you don't have your rock stop per se, then that will not be good. Of course, you can always ask someone to borrow theirs, but it's just really important to come in prepared, because that way you're going in confidently and strong and you're ready to ace it. So now that I have run down through my 5 tips, I'm gonna share with you guys how I prepared for my upcoming audition by giving you a glimpse of my practice routine, what I focused on, and overall just how I got ready. So it is currently 10 o'clock and I'm about to work on my scales. For my audition, I have to do one major scale and one minor scale. So for my major scale, I'm gonna do 2-octave D major, and for my minor, I'm doing C melodic minor. So the first thing I do before jumping into this scale is to get my D drone. And to do this, I just go on YouTube, search up cello D drone, and then just click on the first video that pops up. And the reason I do this is because it really helps me hone in on my intonation, and it allows me to get each note exactly in tune in accordance with the D drone that is playing simultaneously while I'm playing the scale. So the first thing I do is I start off by playing just whole notes of the scale. The next thing I do is I play thirds of the scales. So I basically do D, F sharp, E, G, and so on. And this really helps practice your fingerings of the scale, and it is a good challenge to make you adapt quickly, and also it helps you practice your intonation. And lastly, I just run through the scale multiple times so that I can practice it fully. Hey guys, so right now it's 2 o'clock and I'm about to practice my excerpts. There are 3 excerpts and they're all from the 5th Symphony of Shostakovich, Last Movement, which is an amazing piece. And yeah, so I'm just gonna quickly show you a glimpse of the excerpts. So when working on this excerpt, I focused on making my bows really accented, heavy, forceful sounding, because that's the nature of the piece. And there's this really tricky accidental section in the middle, so in order to get my intonation just right, I just played each individual note separately, and then I just practiced it over and over again until it could sound fluent together. And lastly, there's the offbeats in the end, and to master those, I started sniffing on the onbeat so that automatically I would play after I sniff, and that would help me have the right rhythm. Okay, so moving on to the second excerpt. So this one starts with running 16th notes, and to practice those, I just played them slowly, and then I picked up my tempo until I could play them at the right speed. Then there's this crazy, insane accidental section, and to do that, I marked in fingerings and just ran through it over and over again so that I could just instinctively memorize how the passage goes and therefore wouldn't be confused by all the flats there. And then I really made sure to finish strong with accents. Okay, and the last excerpt. So for this one, I made sure to establish a really good fingering that would enable me to play the descending notes in the same position, and I found out that I could do it in 3/2 position, and it also worked really well for the vibrato, so that was nice. I then counted my rests properly and did the super ultra maximum triple forte accented down bow and chromatic scale, and then really short, strong G sharp 8th notes. Also, there's the accelerando in the beginning, so I made sure to gradually speed up my tempo to make that noticeable. Hey guys, so right now it's 4 o'clock and I'm about to work on my solo. Okay, so that concludes the whole audition preparation process. I hope you guys find my tips to be useful. And remember that not every audition is gonna go your way, and that's okay. It's part of life, and it's part of being human. However, if you work hard, set up a good practice routine, and consistently work towards your goals, then it will be okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to give this a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.